Good morning, all. Karen Cecilia here. It's a lovely Thursday morning in Jewsland, and usually Jewsland is not a quiet place, so there'll be a little bit of noise that will sound off in this voice note. I have avoided talking about Prime Minister Andrew Holness on any issue outside of things to do with my community and his responsibility as a member of parliament for my community. I have avoided that. I have avoided talking about him in any political sense, and the reason is clear. The reason is my focus is on Mark Jefferson Golden, the leader of the PMP, who hijacked the PMP and who wants to lead the country. And my job is to ensure that the Jamaican people know everything that they need to know about him so that they don't make the mistake of making him leader of the country. I have stated categorically from time to time, I stated categorically that I have absolutely no issue with Andrew Holness as Prime Minister. All the other issues that everybody have, crime and cost of living and all of that, those are general things that everybody have. I get up to and I quarrel to about the cost of things. But I don't see that going out in social media and make nice about it really make a difference, because I know for a fact that the cost of living is a global thing. I mean, the people in America tell me, when I tell them to put in certain things in a barrel, them tell me how expensive those things are. And so I know that those things, I'm not quarreling about those things. And as long as a member of West Central St. Andrew and the Jewsland community as a voter, as long as I get my garbage collected, I have no issue with the member of parliament. Any day I'm not getting my garbage collected and I'm not responding when I send to him and tell him that I need the garbage to be collected, that's the time that he and I will have a problem. So far, that has not been the case. We get our garbage collected, our garbage truck come. The young lady in charge of the garbage collection around this area is very nice and accommodating. She was here personally Christmas Eve to ensure that all our garbage get collected. Because yes, people throw garbage in the gully. But up this end where I live, we don't throw garbage in the gully at all. We throw nothing in the gully. We store our garbage, our little ends up this end here, where our circle that we pretty up and make sure we look good and everybody think that we're behaving like we're better than them, and we are. So we are very keen on the collection of our garbage. And so once the garbage collected, we have the issue with Mr. Holness as a member of parliament. I didn't vote for him. I don't particularly believe that because I believe that because I didn't vote for him, I don't have no particular no right, because this is a view that was shared by Mr. Warmington once, and people beat up on him. But it's the way he said it and the way it came across that people felt that he shouldn't say that. But I do believe that if you don't participate in the voting process, then the basic needs and the basic things that governments are supposed to provide for you are not in a position to demand them because you did not participate in the process. Now, if your participation in the process means that you are protesting by not voting, then that is a participation. But you have to make that known. You have to be actively engaged in something like that. And if, as citizens, you are not actively engaged in things like that, then I don't believe you have any right to quarrel with the people who are elected to run the country about what you believe that you deserve and what you believe that you're not getting. Because, it just don't make no sense to me that people would want to do that. So, but I have an issue with Mr. Holness now. I have a very serious issue that I've had since 2022 with Mr. Holness, and that is the issue of the British monarchy. And with those runaway royals, ex-royals, Meghan and Prince Harry. Prince Harry is the son of the king, so he's still Prince Harry until the king take away that title, which we all hope that the king will soon take away him title and send him to make him go on a Monte seat or hang out with Grifter Meghan. Now Meghan and Harry flew in to Jamaica for the Bob Marley premiere of the Bob Marley movie. Now, I know for a fact, and I want to state these facts. Fact number one, nobody invited them. Nobody invited them. Not the Marley Foundation, not Ziggy Marley. Nobody invited them. They were not billed as special guests coming into the country for the premiere of the Bob Marley movie. They were not. They just decided that they are going to come. And with them new PR team and them WME the Megan PR team and them looking for ways and means to make themselves relevant, because they have become absolutely relevant in California. All major stars and major players in Hollywood have just totally just sidelined them. Them started out when them getting married, them invited Oprah Winfrey, and none of them Harry knew Oprah Winfrey, but Megan never knew Oprah Winfrey. Oprah Winfrey never knew Megan, because Megan is a third-rate D-list star. Nobody knew her. Nobody knew her before she met Harry. Nobody. Was just a third-rate star on a little watched show called Suits, which is based in Canada. So nobody knew her. All her fame came from marrying a prince. Having married, gotten engaged to Harry, she set out on a path, and that path was for her to become famous. So at the wedding, she invited George Clooney and his wife Amal. And of course, she invited Oprah Winfrey. She wanted to invite people who she think can help her to climb political and the star ladder when she moved to California, because that was her intention. Her intention was not to marry Harry and stay in the British monarchy and serve the Commonwealth. That was not her intention. After they were married, our beautiful and wonderful monarch, Queen Elizabeth II, named Harry president of the Commonwealth, young Commonwealth, and she was vice president. Both of them, she as a half black woman and him as a red-headed idiot, both of them could have done great things being a part of the great Commonwealth that Jamaica is a part of. And I can imagine in my head how great it would have been for the Commonwealth, for the Caribbean, having the two of them working as British monarchy throughout the Commonwealth. It would have been great for Britain. It would have been great for us too to have them both. But no, they became full of themselves and thinking that they were more than they actually are. And they decided that them going to abscond and them just run out on the royal family and them go about them business, because Meghan wants to be rich and famous. We don't know, and Harry must suffer from all kind of mental issues and him think that somebody owe him something, but nobody owes him anything. Him's a rich, spoiled royal. We mother spoiled him, father spoiled, everybody spoiled. And when him not get where him want, him behave like a damn blasted git. And so, they both went. And they go set up their life in California. And for a short period of time, Californians welcomed them, Americans welcomed them. They were nice and famous and people want to be around them. And then boop, just like how karma operates, their stars fell. And their stars are now wallowing in mud in Hollywood. Nobody wants to. Them not invited to any big thing. The people avoid them. They are regarded as noise makers who have really sullied their reputation. People want to be around William and Kate. And nobody don't want to be around them. So them losing, they have lost steam in Hollywood. They have lost steam in the eyes of the American gentry. And so they're always looking for ways and means to get themselves seen. And Meghan is a devious, scheming wench. She is. She is a first-rate bitch bent on revenge because she don't get what she wants. Now, for those of you Jamaicans who will listen to this voice note and still supporting these two, let me just make something absolutely clear to you all. Meghan and Harry wanted to leave the monarchy. And they wanted to go live in Hollywood. And after they're living in Hollywood, they want the monarchy to still support them. Give them title, send them out to the royal tours from California. And nothing no works so. Nothing don't work like that. So our Queen Elizabeth II, God rest her soul, said no, You can't be half in and half out. You have either all the way in or you're all the way out. And they give them a year to reconsider, but they did not. Because Meghan running Harry's life. Harry's a stupid little boy still in that man's skin. Still a little boy who can't run anything. Harry is still a boy that is damaged. And so need this scheming bitch to hold on to all the time. And so them out there doing them thing. Why did they come? Why did they come to the Bob Marley premiere of the Bob Marley movie? Why did they come? Because if they were going to be guests of honor, and if they were invited, it would have been a big news and big thing all over Jamaica and elsewhere. No, but it was not. They decided, them have nothing to do, you know, because nobody wants to see them in California, them can't go to big events, and they're getting all of these fake awards that they have done nothing to receive, but, you know, them a buy awards, basically, them contribute to an event, and then the event give them an award. That's basically what they are doing, and it is a disgrace. But why did they come? I'm going to tell you why they come, and why they came is because of Andrew Holness' action. They came because of what Andrew Holness himself have done and have been doing. So let's start. Andrew Holness liked the pomp and pageantry and the excitement of the internet. He's lured to the international gentry and the international pomp and pageantry. He likes that. But Andrew Holness knows that what he's doing is damaging the British monarchy. So what has he done? He went to King Charles' coronation. And as, of course, every leader in the Commonwealth had prime position in King Charles III coronation. And Andrew Holness himself, as a head of a nation of the Commonwealth, got to meet with the king one-on-one, as every Commonwealth head did. New Zealand, Australia, Barbados, all of them. And I'm going to compare to you what Andrew Holness is doing in comparison to what Mayor Motley did to move away from the British monarchy. Now, Mayor Motley, before she announced that Barbados would be moving on from the British monarchy, she took a number of steps. She met with Buckingham Palace privately, and she told them where her headspace is, and she believed that the country was at that point. I know Barbados is now regretting that move, but them can't turn back. They regret that move, but them can't turn back. So Mayor Motley was quietly meeting with Buckingham Palace, meeting with other heads of the Commonwealth, and letting them know what her decision is, and she's going to go to the Barbados people and let them decide, and so on and so forth. And the Barbados people wanted to move away. They wanted that. All right? Jamaican people don't really exactly want that. So that's what Mayor Motley did. What did Andrew Holness did? Andrew Holness set up himself in such a way that I am beginning to wonder that if he was doing this and saying the things that he was saying in 2022 because he wanted to appease him international besties. Andrew Holness does not work with CARICOM. You don't see, you hardly see him at anything CARICOM. You hardly see him at anything to do with the Commonwealth. He's more into international leadership. You know, the Chinese, the Saudi crown prince, Mohammed bin Salman, they call him MBS, the one who killed that Washington Post journalist, the one who's a murderous prince, who killed the journalist from the Washington Post from reporting on all the things that he's doing. So the Chinese, Saudi, the Israelis, those are Andrew Holness. That's in focus. That's where I'm going. They're an international thing. I have seen videos of Andrew Holness at the G7 or G8 meetings where he don't attend, but he was like a special guest of somebody, probably MBS or one of them country, and so he got to take the pictures with some people, and he was invited. I saw him also with Justin Trudeau at one such G8 meeting some years ago, 2-3 years ago. I saw him in one of those pictures. I follow international politics. I get personalized email and stuff from international political groups around the world. I get pictures that probably some people don't see on the net. I get insights, right? In 2022, when William and Kate, the Prince and Princess of Wales, came to visit Jamaica as part of the Platinum Jubilee of Her late Majesty Queen Elizabeth II. William and Kate walked into a firestorm in the Caribbean, and that firestorm in the Caribbean was created by Harry and Meghan, because they move away and everybody starts saying that the British monarchy is racist, and them go on Oprah, go talk about how the British monarchy is racist, and then Harry didn't put that in his book, and then when he come on an interview with Tom Bradbury, and Tom Bradbury asked him if the British monarchy is racist, he said nobody said that, no they are not, his family is not racist, and they meant that the British press was racist. So them take back them talk about that. After them make it sit down for nearly 2 years, but the world thinking that the British monarchy is racist. So the Commonwealth tour by William and Kate was marred by what Harry and Meghan was doing. It was marred everywhere. Well, they got very good reception everywhere else except Jamaica, but they had to cancel one stop. I think, I don't remember if it was Belize, but they had to cancel one stop because of the agitation over their thinking. And then that same country that they cancelled want them to come back because they now know that it was all a lie, a big lie. Britain, and most Jamaicans who live there can tell you, is one of the most diverse countries in the world. And Britain has been rated year after year after year as the most anti-racist country in the world. Racism is not a thing that lives in Britain. Yeah? But yes, the British monarchy is a part of the original racism and a part of the original slave trade. Yeah, but it's not the British monarchy alone that is a part of the original racism and original slavery. There was also Portugal. There was also Spain. And there was also Africa. Some of our greatest African leaders back in the slave trade were actually trading their own people to white people, were selling their black people in Africa. They were selling them for whiskey, for fur coat, for nice clothes, for guns. Yes, our very own great African leaders in history books, they were selling their own people to slave trade. So nobody's going to come drop down everything. And the British monarchy, like the British monarchy, were the only ones engaged in the slave trade. No, it's not true. And people must go read their history and understand that. Andrew Holness have shown no desire to play any great part in our regional affairs. You very rarely see Andrew Holness in regional affairs. You don't see him with the regional leaders, the leaders of CARICOM. You don't see him, you know. And he has completely shunned the CARICOM. And he's only involved in the Commonwealth when it becomes something big, like them have to go to Buckingham Palace or them have the big Commonwealth meeting somewhere, and then him go. You don't see him with no one-on-one meeting with nobody. You don't see him with Mayor Matley. You don't see him with no Caribbean leaders. And the Jamaican slave owner situation, because when William and Kate came, a group of Jamaicans was out there demonstrating, protesting against William and Kate and talking about them more reparations. And if they ever try that again, ever, I am going to put out in the public the names of every Jamaican family that exists now whose foreparents own slaves in this country. Every one of them. It is during our history, our search through Mark Golding's ancestry, that we found how many Jamaicans, big name in this country, whose foreparents owned slaves. And the history is not there in black and white to say that this was their plantation and we had 6 slaves. The history is, what is there is that when slavery was abolished, they were all allowed to claim money for the slaves they own, and they have to present documents to say these were our slaves, and then they say how much slaves they had, and then they get paid for them. And that is there in black and white. There's no need for me to go into them and sully nobody's name, but any day them ever try, any day them come out again with any kind of demonstration or protest against the British monarchy, I am going to ramp it up to Terminator level and put out to the Jamaican public so the Jamaican public can see all the big names in this country whose parents and grandparents and great-grandparents owned slaves on plantations in Jamaica. And therefore, if you're going to talk about reparations and talking about beating up people for owning slaves and for slavery, let's start at home with those here that own slaves and had plantations where they had slaves working on. So that is clear. But here's what Mr. Holness did that caused Harry and Meghan to feel like they could come down here on, was it Tuesday night, come walk on red carpet and pose off and send the British monarchy and the British people, it's all over the British media and all of the British YouTube channel, that what they came down here and what they came down here to do. They came down here to embarrass the monarchy. They came down here to come spit in King Charles' eyes and that drunk named King Prince Harry, whose father is ill. His father sick, has an enlarged prostate. It's not cancerous, but he's going into the hospital to get it looked after. He'll be there for about 2 days. And his sister-in-law, Princess of Wales, Princess Catherine, is in hospital after undergoing major abdominal surgery. And that nitwit, that dim ass, that stupid fool hanging out with this grifter woman because she don't get what she want. So therefore, she's going to spend the rest of her life trying to use her half-blackness. Her half-blackness, which nobody knew that she was black because all throughout her life, she's listed as white. It's just these days she start look like she's spraying on tan to look kind of blackish. She was always white. She always passed off as white. Everything, her birth certificate, her admission to school, everything had her as white. Since she meet Harry, suddenly she discovered her blackness. And them using that little blackness as many international black people have done to monetize them blackness and to use them blackness to beat up other people and pretend that they are some kind of goody two-shoes. People like Al Sharpton and Jesse Jackson have done it all their lives. All their lives they have done it. Monetize and use black people's history and black people's suffering to big up themselves and make money from it. So she and Harry decided to come down here to come show off themselves. And Prime Minister Holness went to the premiere, as it is right to do. But he did not ask to talk to Harry nor Meghan. Prime Minister Holness did not ask to meet with them or talk to them. Meghan was the one who asked to meet the Prime Minister. She don't know him. I think Harry met him when he came here, when Portia was Prime Minister, and Harry met Andrew Holness as leader of the opposition. I believe so. But Meghan was the one who requested the meet with Prime Minister Holness on the red carpet. She was the one who requested it. Why? Why? Does she have some kind of thing that she wants to share with him about something to progress Jamaica? No, she doesn't. None of them come down here for grief. They might look opportunities as well. But her main reason for asking to meet, to hang out on the red carpet with Andrew Holness was to stick it to the British monarchy. And he was too happy to oblige because him not thinking about how these things look. And why I'm targeting Andrew Holness in all of this is that him set this up. Him set this up by what he did in 2022 when William and Kate came and they were at Jamaica House with him. And in the middle of Jamaica House, in the foyer of Jamaica House, around a whole host of people and news media, he went on this little classless act. Want to tell William now that we're moving away. We are moving on. We are moving on. It was such a classless and tacky thing for a leader of the Commonwealth country to say in front and to the Prince of Wales and the future King of England. It was so classless and tacky because yes, you said you're going to put it to the Jamaican people for us to decide if we want to move away from the monarchy. And you had a golden opportunity when William and Kate come to sit down in a room like a statesman, like a leader, and have that discussion among stakeholders. You, William, the Governor General, and whoever the stakeholders are, to say to them, boy, we're thinking of putting this thing to the Jamaican public, and we want Jamaican public to weigh in on this because we're thinking of moving away. Nothing wrong with that. Myanmar, the Barbados moved away from the British monarchy, and the first international meeting she went to was this climate change meeting in Britain when Boris was Prime Minister, and she was hanging out with Prince Charles, and she was hanging out with President Biden. They were very close, and Myanmar has never been closer to the British monarchy as she is right now. Because moving away from the British monarchy does not take you out of the Commonwealth. You are still a member of the Commonwealth, right? But Andrew Holness, Mr. Prime Minister, you are behaving in an uncouth and unstatesmanlike manner by what you did in 2022. And I said it, but I didn't want to divert from what I'm doing by starting to talk about what you are doing, because I don't want to take away my focus from dealing with Mark Golding. But I can't make this slide. I can't make this slide because you met with them, you and them hanging out on the red carpet, and that don't look good. That is you as a leader of one of the countries in the Commonwealth basically spitting in the eye of the king, saying to the king, we don't care what you think. And you can't do that, Mr. Prime Minister. Jamaica is still a part of the monarchy. You are still the head of state for Jamaica, which is still a member of the Commonwealth. And you can't be doing that, and then as soon as something comes up, you fly down to England and meet with the king. That's kind of a hypocrisy. That's grave hypocrisy, Mr. Prime Minister. That you're hanging out with these two runaway royals, these two ex-royals, this grifter and our stupid prince wife, husband. Them trying to embarrass the British monarchy. Every opportunity that Meghan and Harry gets, they try to embarrass the British monarchy. And I am told that Ziggy Marley and his crew were not impressed with the fact that them come down here to come hijack them event. But Ziggy was not impressed by it because nobody invited them. They were not no special guests. Of course, I'm glad for the big up of his father's film. But Ziggy is a businessman, and he's well known and he's well loved by the Hollywood elite. The Hollywood elite who don't have nothing with Meghan and Harry, you know? Because Ziggy, I'm sure Ziggy can take up the phone and call Oprah. I'm sure that Ziggy can take up the phone and call Morgan Freeman. But she can't do that. She lives down the road from Oprah and nobody knows nothing with her because of what they have been doing, these two, Meghan and Harry. What they have been doing, people have now been shunning them. In Hollywood, them can't get nothing good to do. Everybody looking down on them because everybody realized that they are worthless. They have no talent. No talent. Them left the British monarchy and them can't find nothing to do because they are talentless, scheming, lying people. Both of them. And you, Mr. Prime Minister, have given them one more stick to beat the British monarchy with. You, Mr. Prime Minister, by what you did in 2022, and they knew that you did it, and you said what you said in the middle of Jamaica House in a fire, tacky, classless, unstatesmanlike, that you did. Stand up in the middle of the fire, not a discussion, not a meeting, in a nice room, in soft couch, but no, you stand up in this fire. Oh, we're moving on. We're moving on. That was not statesmanlike, Mr. Prime Minister. And I said it at the time, but didn't want to make a big deal about it because my focus, of course, is on Mark Golding and his treachery and his capturing of the People's National Party, and therefore put Jamaica, because one of the reasons why you, Mr. Prime Minister, have been able to get away with all of these things is because we are lacking in proper representation on the opposition benches in King Charles's Parliament. We don't have that proper representation of the opposition on the opposition benches in King Charles Parliament, and that's why you can get away with all of these things, because Mark Golding can't stand up to you. Look at you at the premiere of Bob Marley's movie. You had a nice blue suit. I think you could have lost the tie. It would have been better. But if you just lose the tie, and then you'd look much better. Him show up in us black sneakers, some kind of half skinny type pants, and this ridiculous shirt outside them pants like a dirty boy, like the one them boy down road that somebody just invite because him white. Don't look like an opposition leader at all. This man never looked like an opposition leader, so him certainly not can't be a prime minister either. Can don't look like prime minister material. Mark Golding is not prime minister material. Look back at all the prime ministers we have had and see if you see anybody look like him. See if you see anybody look like him, act like him, dress like him, behave like him. No. So my focus is on him. But you, Mr. Prime Minister, I am so upset. I am so upset by the fact that you were on the red carpet entertaining Harry and Meghan, those runaway, scheming grifters who have disgraced themselves and disgraced their families. You, Mr. Prime Minister, hanging out with them and give them fodder. You have given them fodder against the British monarchy. And I don't know if that was your intention, because you didn't ask to meet with them. It's she asked, not Harry. She, Meghan, asked. I am speaking what I know to be true. Is she, Meghan, asked to take that picture with you, to hang with you on the red carpet, and it wasn't a big affair. No great big movie star wasn't down here. Everybody was B-list and C-list movie star down here. No great movie star wasn't down here. The only movie star, the only celebrity, big celebrity apart from Ziggy and him look cool, that was down there was Lisa Hanna. And I did not see the spokesperson for foreign affairs, which is a good thing. God, Jesus, that's a good thing. That is a good thing, because based on how the leader of the opposition look, I can't even begin to imagine in my head how the spokesperson for foreign affairs would look if she had gone on that red carpet. Thank you, Heavenly Father. Once again, dear God, you are looking out for Jamaica. So, Mr. Holness, I am holding you accountable for this new fodder that you have given Harry and Meghan against the sick king, the king who's going in to do an operation on his enlarged prostate, and Princess Kate, who is in the hospital, and you have given these grifters, these ex-royal, these non-entity, who can't get over the fact that Queen Elizabeth and King Charles don't see it fit to have them out there run up and down about them are royals, while them run away from them duties and them responsibilities. They ran away from their duties and their responsibilities to become movie stars and big wigs. And they have been shunned in that too, because they are neither movie stars nor big wig. And you have continued to give them fodder. And you need to stop it, Mr. Prime Minister. If Jamaica is going to move away from the monarchy, put it to Jamaican people. Let us decide. Because I'm absolutely certain that at least 70% of the Jamaican people is with the monarchy. I am absolutely certain that at least 70% or more of the Jamaican people would like us to stay within the British monarchy and have the king as our head of state. I am sure of that. So that's why you're mixing up this whole constitutional reform thing and trying to throw that in with the monarchy thing. But the Jamaican people see past that. So if you're going to do a constitutional reform, do that. But don't just talk up yourself, but you're going to move away from the monarchy without us having a say in it. We need to have a say in it, because you don't know how the Jamaican people feel about the British monarchy. Some of us do like the pomp and the pageantry and the association with the British monarchy. Most Jamaicans you talk to like that, want to have that association, but many people have sold them into the idea that it is a British monarchy that were our slave owners, and it is not true. Sorry. It is not true. It is absolutely not true. They were beneficials. They were very active in the slave trade back in the day. But don't blame Charles for what his ancestors did. Just like how we're not blaming anybody for what their ancestors did. We're not blaming you. We're not blaming Mark Golding for his ancestors being slave owners. We want Jamaican people to know that his ancestors were slave owners. We want Jamaican people to know that his father was a slave owner. And his behavior, Mark Golding's behavior, is akin to what his ancestors were and how they behaved. Not only because they were slave owners, but because they were scoundrels. They were wicked people. They were thieves. They were murderers in Mark Golding's ancestry. Not just slave owners, thieves, murderers, people who start war, pay money to government to start war against black people. That was Mark Golding's ancestry. So it's not just about the slave thing. It is about that, but it's also about how they have acted and how he is acting. And we think Jamaica deserves better, and the People's National Party deserves better. You need to do something, Mr. Holness. You need to behave like a statesman and a leader. We can't be accusing Mark Golding of being a riffraff, half-idiot, drunken man who wants to lead the country, and then you out there behaving unstatesman-like, unleader-like. You have to pick up that game and don't give ex-royals fodder against our king, because King Charles III is our king. You might not want to say it, but he is our king. He is our king. And that's all I have to say for now, Mr. Holness. You really have, no, I'm upset by it. I truly am. I'm a monarchist. I'm a royalist. I believe in the British monarchy. I believe it is good for Jamaica. I believe in all that is happening in Jamaica. I believe that the British monarchy adds something of class and history to Jamaica. Jamaica's history is rich, and there is no part of our history that have not included the British monarchy. And everything about our history is not everything is good. Like every history of every country and every history of the world is not all of it, half of it is not good. Half of it is good, half of it is bad. But it is our history, and we should embrace it for whatever it's worth. And moving away from the monarchy is a backward move. Takes away everything that we have that filled with pageantry and glorious history. It takes away everything from us. I don't want to deny my grandson and my great-grandchildren that. So you probably need to reconsider that, putting that to Jamaican people. Because if you put it to Jamaican people and we have to vote, you're going to be embarrassed. If we have to vote on it, the Jamaican people have to vote on that. Because what you ask us to do is exchange the Governor General who represents the King for somebody who's going to represent you. And at that time, we'd have no control over that. Because you get to name the Governor General, your opposition gets to sign off on it. When you remove the King and move the monarchy, who gets to name that new person? Who gets to sign off on that person? Who does that person work for? Because we have absolutely no avenue and no way of knowing what is it that you plan to do with that constitutional change. Constitutional change, if you want to do constitutional change, let's get rid of that buggery law. That 15th century buggery law put in by a king who had his own sexual frivolities and was afraid of them, so he put in that law. So you want to do constitutional change? Get rid of the buggery law. Get rid of that law that says men can't have sex with men. Men have sex with men all the time in the privacy of their bedroom. And heterosexual men do that too. Bugger them wives, them girlfriends, everybody. Yeah, let's talk plain and straight. You're talking about buggery law. Talking about anal sex. Of course. Men have anal sex with women. Women have anal sex with men too. You don't know nothing about sex, Mr. Holness? Talk to me. Talk to me one day. Invite me up. Let me talk to you about how this whole sex thing work. And how everybody doing every damn thing for pleasure. And that's all it is. People doing things for pleasure and not affecting anybody's lives in the public. So you want to change something? Change that buggery law. Because that buggery law is not just for gay people. That buggery law is targeted at gay people. Yes, it is. Targeted at gay men. That buggery law. If you want to change something, change that buggery law because it's target gay men. When in fact, straight men having buggery sex with them wives and them girlfriends, and when them go up by sex and whatever we do, we have threesome, foursome, sixsome, orgies, all kinds of things. And buggery take place in all of them. So you want to change something? Get rid of that 15th century law and leave the monarchy alone. And this is how my Thursday morning have started. And my cup of tea is cold. And I'm holding the Prime Minister responsible for the fact that my cup of tea is cold. And because I don't like to warm my tea. But I have to go do that. Thank you all for listening to me. I'm upset by it. True. I'm upset. But I'm all right now.